Your balance is correct, but your life is not you. Check the balance because that is what you do every morning, not because you are worried. At least that is what you tell yourself. The coffee machine is still heating. Your phone is at 11, connected to a charger that only works if the cable bends toward the wall. You open the banking app, Face ID loading, circle, then the number appears, 28461742. You stare at it, not because it is wrong, because it is exactly right. Checking savings, brokerage, retirement. Every transfer cleared. No fraud warning, no missing payment, no unexplained charge. Your balance is correct. Your life is not. The thought arrives so cleanly that you almost laugh. Instead, you lock the phone and place it beside the coffee machine. Behind you, the refrigerator makes the same clicking sound it has made for 6 months. You keep meaning to call the landlord, you keep meaning to do a lot of things. At 7:18, a calendar notification appears. Quarterly performance review. You already know what your manager will say. Strong execution, reliable under pressure, consistently exceeds expectations. Each raise arrives like proof that the last 12 months, counted your first salary here was $62,000. Now it is $11,800. You know the number, because you know every number rent. $2140 car payment, $486 groceries, $117 a week. Retirement growth last year, $31,204. You do not know the last time you ate dinner without looking at a screen. At 8:42, you join the meeting. Your manager Eric appears. He smiles before he speaks. That is how you know the review is good. You've become essential to this team, he says. Essential. You write the word in your notebook. Eric explains the promotion. Senior Operations Strategy Lead. New salary, $13,200. Bonus target, 15 more meetings with executives who say strategic alignment. While checking email beneath the camera, you should feel proud. Instead, you look at the notebook under the word essential. You have drawn a small empty square. Eric keeps talking. You thank him. You say you are excited. The sentence comes out perfectly. You have become good at saying correct things. At lunch, you open your spreadsheet. It has 12 tabs: net worth, cash flow, debt, payoff, tax estimates, retirement projections, home down payment. You update the salary cell. Every formula changes. Instantly projected net worth at 40612840, at 5174 million, at 6391 million. Assuming a 65 return. The future rearranges itself in green numbers. Nothing in the room changes. Your desk is still pushed against the bedroom wall. The laundry basket is full. The framed photograph beside your monitor is turned slightly away from you. It shows you your sister Lena and your father at a lake in Michigan 3 summers ago, before his surgery, before you started declining family weekends because quarter end was always approaching. There are 12 missed calls from Lena in your history. You returned 4. The last conversation lasted 3 minutes and 17 seconds. She asked whether you were coming home for your father's birthday. You said flights were expensive. That was not true. You had $38,000 in savings. The real cost was 2 days away from work. You sent your father a watch instead. $640 free shipping. He called to thank you. You let it go to voicemail because you were in a meeting. You still have the message. At 2:07, Marcus sends you a photograph of the diner where you ate after late shifts. Same cracked red booths, same faded sign, promising breakfast all day. Marcus teaches high school history. He earns less than half your salary. His messages are usually photographs, a hiking trail, a badly shaped loaf of bread, his daughter asleep on his chest. For years, you treated them like evidence that he chose the smaller life. Today, you are not sure which life is smaller. You type, "We should go back sometime," then delete it. You type, "Miss those days," you delete that too. Finally, you send a thumbs up reaction. It is efficient. It requires nothing from you. At 5:46, the workday technically ends at 7:03. Eric asks if you can review a presentation deck. You say yes, before checking whether you want to. The apartment darkens around you at 8:21. Your stomach hurts, and you remember you have not eaten. You order the same bowl you ordered Tuesday. Chicken brown, rice no cheese, 1872. While you wait, you open the banking app again, 28459911. The electricity bill cleared. Correct? Everything is correct. You think about the years it took to build that number, the skipped trips, the automatic transfers, the nights you stayed late, because being dependable felt safer than being interesting. There was never one dramatic sacrifice. You did not wake up one morning and choose money over your life. You made the exchange in small amounts. One canceled dinner, one unopened voicemail, one weekend turned into work, one promotion requiring just a little more availability. Each decision looked reasonable. Alone together, they became your calendar. The food arrives. You eat at the desk. While correcting a slide, on slide 14, you replace the phrase work-life sustainability with sustainable performance culture. It sounds more professional. You almost miss the irony at 10:17. The deck is finished. Eric replies with one word: perfect. You close the laptop. The silence feels larger than the apartment in the kitchen. The coffee cup from morning still sits beside the machine. For a moment, it feels like no time has passed. Then you see the date on your phone. It is your father's birthday. There was a reminder. Call Dad, 7:00 p.m. You dismissed it. During a meeting. It is 10:24. You call anyway. 6 rings, voicemail. Hey Dad, happy birthday. Sorry it's late, work was. You stop. You have used that sentence too many times. Work was busy. Work was difficult. Work needed you. The explanations are always accurate. That is the problem. You end the call without finishing. Then you open the old voicemail. The one from the watch. Your father sounds tired but happy. He says the watch is beautiful. He says you should not have spent so much. Then he says something you did not remember. We miss you. Not the gifts. You, the message ends. You stand in the kitchen holding the phone against your ear after the audio has stopped for the first time. All day, you do not know what number to check. There is no account showing the balance of missed dinners, no graph for conversations, delayed until people stopped calling, no monthly statement listing how much of yourself you spent becoming secure. You open the banking app once more. 28459911, still correct. Then you open your calendar. Tomorrow is full, 8 meetings, 2 deadlines, 1 block marked focus time that someone will probably take you. Delete the first meeting, then the second. Your thumb pauses over the third. This does not feel brave. It feels irresponsible. That is how deeply the system has entered you. You call Lena. She answers on the second ring. Is everything okay? She asks. Because you never call this late, unless something is wrong. You look at the dark apartment, at the promotion notebook, at the photograph beside the desk. No, you say it is the first incorrect-looking answer you have given all day, and the first honest one. You tell her you want to come home this weekend. There is a pause. Then she says, okay, no speech, no dramatic forgiveness. Just one word. You book the flight before you can optimize it. 412 window seat. No points. No spreadsheet. When the confirmation arrives, your balance drops again. For once, the smaller number feels like evidence that something has been added. Tomorrow, the promotion will still be real. The salary will still be higher. The spreadsheet will still predict millions. But tonight, with a flight confirmation glowing on your screen, you understand the mistake. You spent years making sure every dollar had a purpose. You never asked whether your days did. Your balance was never the warning. It was the distraction. Because a life can be perfectly accounted for and still be missing. And sometimes the most dangerous number is not the one that is wrong, it is the one that is right, while everything else quietly falls apart.